Okay, fáilte rash, so tá an tiisce oscuile go amach ón Radahor. So I'm letting that out, the coolant out, because just not happy with the radiator. I think there's kind of coolant hanging around the bottom of it, and I can't really figure out where it is coming from. So what I'm going to do is bring it in to get pressure tested tomorrow. I did replace the coolant tap because I could not get the original one to seal, and they're usually kind of a cone shape that when you tighten it, it pulls the cone down. So if there's bits of rust the bottom of the radiator, as it usually is, it does stop it from sealing. So I blew out the original one. So I ended up just sick of taking off the bonnet trying to tighten it up, because you have to take the bonnet off to tighten it. Fitted the new one and it's doing the same thing. So I want to get a pressure tester to see. I'm after checking this spare radiator and it's leaking at the bottom, so I'll bring that with me as well and see what he wants to do with that. But what I want to do now, since we're out of action anyway, is fit a new bushing in there in the starter, because it is a little bit worn. So I have a new one there. It's going to be fun getting it out. I have a feeling I might have to tap a few threads into the old bushing and then put a thread of bolt into it and try and pull it out that way. So we'll see. I don't want to go the butchering route. So with that in mind, the first job is simply to nave wind, take it off anyway. It's going to be the first job. So I did have this off before and I had it stripped down, and there's a video on me stripping this down and checking everything out. I do think, if I'm not mistaken, that the brushes aren't in the greatest nick. They're fairly worn, but look, we'll might just, when I'm out and about tomorrow, I might call into a lad and see who does electrical auto elect and see can he give any advice on how to replace them, because the original ones were actually riveted, the wires were riveted in, so a little bit awkward to deal with. Let's leave that one in a little bit there, because the bottom one is going to be it's going to fall when we loosen the bottom one. This could take a while. Oh no, it shouldn't take too long now actually. Yeah, we should have a bit of room there. Thankfully nice and easy to take apart compared to the 20 diesel there beside me. There's a bit more wiring and stuff from solenoids, and lever going to the starter there as well from the gear stick, and a few bit more disassembling. But the petrol engine tractors really are a lot simpler, a lot less parts on them. And of course you don't have to be as fussy about things like compression in the petrol engine. You get away with a worn engine for a lot longer. That bolt is flying out. For some reason there's no washers in any of these bolts. We can change that easy enough. And of course these starters are a damn sight lighter than the big 20 diesel ones as well, as diesel starters. Yeah. So that wasn't too hard so far. Do we have pipes getting in the way here now, or are we going to be able to come straight out? Straight out, hopefully. Temperature sender pipe. Hopefully it won't get cut. I just that's some big bendix. So anyway, that's that out. That's good news. Smash in. So we can bring it up to the vise now. We'll get set up here and we'll set up the tripod then. Fairly sure I'm not going to have a tap big enough for this. If I don't, I'll have to bring it over to a machine shop locally there, and we'll see then. Get a tap off him. I'm just going to open my taps here. See if we have anything. I I think I'm only half inch and I think this needs to be 5/8. Yeah, that's as big as I go, so that's okay. We tried. Won't be a bother anyway. We'll be able to get a tap off him and tap that old one hopefully, and get it, use it to pull it through. But we do have to take this off here first. Take off the, I don't know what it's called, is it the brush plate or something? I'm not 100% sure what it's called, but I know it has to come off. This is your positive power in, if you're negative earth. Okay, plenty of insulators on there anyway, and see what this is like. Is it savage tight? Shouldn't be savage tight. Yeah, it's the beauty of having all this apart before. Both my hand and the bolt clicked. Lovely. Be sure to put some of that grey grease on that now. I'm fairly sure I greased it up before, but yeah, so that's looking good. And then a little poke here, and they should be good to come off. Okay, we have something after falling on the ground there. Have to have a look. I'll see what that is. Oh yeah, we have to take out. We have to take out a spring or two. That's all that's happening there. Doesn't want to come until there goes. And then we should be ready to pull that. Worried of what fell on the ground there. Get a look and see in a minute. Something definitely fell anyway. Yeah, so should be able to pull that brush out. The opposite one then as well is probably held in, is it? No, we took one out we didn't need to take out. Not thinking. The Rev makes smine of. It doesn't matter anyway. I can put them back in. It's this one that needs to come out. Oh, yeah, well, yeah. That lad there, he's got the wire going down, and we'll take off the spring because that's the kind of thing that we'd lose. Yep, over that. Now, same here. Off the spring, safest place forward with the rest of the parts. Okay, the truss washer's still there anyway. And another truss washer. And if I'm not mistaken, we mightn't have to fucking pull out anything. Let's get the camera to zoom in there. Get the camera to cooperate. There you go. Okay, so we've two truss washers, that's no harm. Now if we look here, this little bio was starting to, we'll take off this as well. Good strong bloody springs, I can tell you. I think I put better ones in this. I think one of them was missing, or actually it was cracked or rusted or something. I remember having to root out another one. I was actually delighted to find that one of them was wrecked because it meant to start. It was probably only running about 3/4 power, so. I'm delighted to say that this bushing is actually moving. Hopefully the one we have is the right one, but it's definitely pushing up a good bit of the way. Our trusty, there you go, our trusty brass punch. There we are. Now let's have a listen. Oh, we fucking wrong, are we? We're wrong. That is obviously meant to be this end, the other end. Well, that's okay, because we pull that through. We can. Okay, but getting this off now is a whole handling. So it is. That isn't too warm, but getting all that apart is a lot bigger. It's a bit of a bigger job. It's not impossible. It'd be nice to do it. Okay, so it's going to involve a bit of pricking around here. Fair bit of pressure on that lad there. So it looks anyway. I have a feeling that lad's meant to be right around the corner there. So it's actually not too bad. So with that in mind, maybe we might tackle this. I just want to make sure we're not going taking it apart. So we'll go and get a vernier here and see what's going on. See if we're on the right track here. At least we know the other bushing. The other bushing is easy to remove. I'll just take a measurement off here. Let's see, are we arcing up the right tree at all? Give or take. I did say it was for this starter here. Definitely meant to be. I'd be very disappointed to know if it's well, I won't be very disappointed, but you'd have to be a bit disappointed if it's not the right fucking one for it. Oh, there's a new one, right? Doesn't look to be the bloody same one anyway. I don't know what this is for. So the part number on the fucking thing. You thinking I was great, huh? No. We're after losing, lads. Comes after telling me the wrong part. Fuck it anyway. Now look, we'll probably be in something. It does say Lucas Bear and Bush. For what though? That is a bit disappointing. Just a little bit. Heck it anyway. So all's not lost, because I'm going to bring the whole lot to the machine shop. That bush that I thought was for this, could be for a dynamo, I forget. Maybe it's for this. So anyway, this isn't under massive tension here, right? We're bringing a bit in, a bit closer. Give you a look here, right? So this isn't the first time that I've had to take one of these apart. I have some videos and taking some of the other TVO Ferguson starters apart. I took this off one of them, so there's not mad tension in that, so that's prompting me, we'll say, to kind of keep going. So we'll let him turn to there, and that's where he'll catch there, and then this should pop out. I keep feeling like keep thinking I hear things, and of course I do. We hear truss washers. Trust washers. I don't know, it's one or the other. We get this in behind this snap ring without stabbing myself. So that's gone over there, so we'll bring him back. Hopefully he'll stay there. It's going to be a little bit awkward to get off. We have our starter there. There's not mad tension on this, so it shouldn't go flying too far. When it comes off, when it comes off, that's the mentality, that's the attitude we want. As it simply has to come off for the job to be done. There we go, there's your snap ring. So what I'll do now is going to pause the video. I'm just going to come pick to the locker and I'll take a quick picture of that, so I know. Now it's fairly obvious, but I'll just take a picture of it anyways for reference. So yes, that's there. This will come off. Now the next question is, this is where I'm not 100% certain how this comes off. If I'm going to be 100% honest with you, we might be at a bit of a dead end now. How this all comes off. So that does stay down there. So I'll do is I'm going to pause the video again, take another picture, because I want to make sure this all goes back together as it should. Okay, so this probably isn't super important that it goes back exactly here. I'm sure there is some form of a... I'm going to put that little din on it there, just a center punch. So around this side here we see this kind of a lad here. Now let's get him to focus in. Second now. Why it's not focusing? What it wants to focus on, I'm not sure. There. Kind of a bung lad on it there. It looks like something you grab with a screwdriver. So I've never seen one of them on a part like this before. But we'll attempt, at least, to take it out. If it breaks or shears, that is curtains, lads. That's the end of the road for the job. But it looks to be good and strong, at least. Okay, and we're turning. So maybe that's just a threaded bung that lines everything up. I don't know. Is it on threads? Is it you twist it and pull it? Okay, well there you go. There's your answer. So it's just a little pin, right? So hopefully that'll come off easy enough. As I said, this is all completely new to me now, so I just don't know. It's different than the Ferguson 20 starter in that way. Okay, so it is coming through it there, I think. Yeah, it is a certain amount of the way. There's sort of snap ring or something at the bottom that I'm missing. So it is going back up through it. Okay, so we've got a Woodruff key anyway. So this is all going to be fun now. There's a lot of parts to come off this now. Do I have to take out that Woodruff key? It looks like I bloody do, I think. Let's get a torch, maybe that's what's stopping. Yeah, looks like the Woodruff key has to come out. So I presume it comes up. We'll turn that this way, and this has to come out. These can be very much touch and go. You can end up making absolute scrap of them very easily, but it's turning out to be a little bit more challenging, we'll say, than I thought it would be. So hopefully that's probably not the best punch for the job. That's okay, everything's okay. Punch is right. That's exactly what's after happening there. So we'll just pick up our parts. I think the Woodruff key went somewhere. Okay. So at least we're down to our bare shaft now that we can work with. And thankfully this is all stayed together. God, it's just as well I'm after taking pictures. Woodruff key. Yeah, so I'm just going to pause the camera and I'll go and get the parts and get it all, well, put the parts together anyway. Okay, so we found a little bio. I like to just give these a little tidy up, just where I was hitting it there with the punch. Just a quick rub. Makes putting the back in easier. Just to take a bit of the damage off it, and there you go. Simple. Instead of going baiting and baiting and baiting. So he's to be kept. He's to be kept because we're in a bit, we would be in a bit of bother without that lad now. So this is, yeah, it's surprising the amount of parts that's in it. So the Bendix is a lot more, how will I put it? A lot more involved. Yeah, it's a lot more involved than I thought. Teeth aren't too bad on the end of the Bendix. Anyway, I'm saying nothing. 595. 59, is it? Forget what year the starter is on this. 52. Yeah, 52, 452. Okay. Anyway, that's the way it is. Okay. That's where our little lad went in. So yeah, there's a bit of there's going to be a bit of rebuilding on the bio. So one bushing's going to be down there, the other bushing's going to be on there. But we're going to do it. There's the old bushing in there, so I probably have to try and take him out. Probably need to take him out, yeah. So we'll just slowly try and put parts back roughly. I presume this is the lad that goes in that hole there. Yeah, he was just sitting in there, didn't really feel that tight. So we'll definitely put a bit of grease in around him, might just hold him steady. Apart from that, this will just give a blowout, but we'll clean up all of this because the snugger it fits, the less end play you have in your commutator shaft. Did give it a bit of a clean before, but it's something that will definitely benefit from another quick clean as well. Yeah, the snugger these fit, the better. Another thing we need to be careful of is that band is just a little bit proud there, and that will could affect the brush plate. And you get all that end play out. There's a bit of a burr on it there. So there is, so we'll have to take him out just there. A towel or two of an inch. Makes all the difference. The snugger it is, the better. The better. Have a feel for birds on the outside where it might have fallen on the ground. Run around with your file. Especially when you're going to the bother of getting new bushings put in. There's no bearings in this one. So there's a bar there. There was a bar, not anymore. So that's that. Checked these before, they seem to be okay for the field coils. I think that's what you call them anyway. Some horse kind of magnets in there. Okay, so yeah, we've probably delved in a bit deeper now than I wanted to, if I'm going to be straight out and honest. But we'll get it back together. We'll get it back together. It's not that bad. Probably not the best thing in the world that it fell on the ground. Checking for damage there now. Hopefully we don't have any. Paying attention to likes of them there. Don't want them to be damaged. If there's any clear damage there, we'll have to have a look and resolder or something. That's the only one I'd have a question over there, but no, it doesn't seem to be very loose anyway. Yeah, so that's your shaft. Definitely could, I definitely would benefit from bushings just to try and keep this working as best as possible. Okay, so that's what we'll do. We'll get a bushing. I'm delighted how the bushing came out of this. It's rattling around in there. So we're lucky. Lucky. We sure were lucky. And we have the old one there as a reference for them. Let's see how worn that actually was. Yeah, it wasn't too bad, but it's not great. The tolerances aren't too fussy with this. When you add in how easy this actually goes in and out of there, yeah, you can see then. You can see why Orion needs a new one, surely. Right. Okay, so as I said, delving in a little bit deeper, just because of that bend. It's something I just don't have experience of up to now. But there's not enough tension on the spring, so we should be able to rebuild that without much hassle. Now this bushing here is very thin, so the chances of getting it out in one piece so they can take a measurement is going to be fairly hard to do. I'll have a look through my sockets and see can we get something that'll fit that. So it seems to be coming in at around 9/16 imperial, so at around 14 mil. So we'll just try. It could be a very tight fit. In other words, it might do no good at all. It is going there. If we can get this out in one piece, it's all the better. Excellent. That'll make it easier for the machine shop. Very happy that we got that out in one piece. Look at that. Bloody brilliant. How did I manage to not break that? How thin it is. Beauty of having imperial, huh? So this will go on this side here and up there, and it's just too loose. Okay, like that place in France, too loose. So there we go. We can, of course, my tapping has put a little burr on it there. So what we might do for them is just take a little bit off, just in case they need to push it back in and do their tests on their side, their measurements. Put a bit of a chamfer on it there for them. It's kind of a phosphor bronze of some kind, or doesn't seem to be brass as such. It's hard enough, I can tell you. Maybe that's why it came out in one piece. And what we will do as well, of course, is give that a polish up in there, a bit of sandpaper. We can just clean it out, because they're going taking their measurements. It's better off being clean. So apart then from brushes, this should be fairly good to go when this is put back on with new bushings. Yeah, there's still a little bit of burn going on there. We're a little bit out of shape just from the hard socket hitting it. Still waiting for the bearings for the distributors, so I kind of have to pause there at the moment. So should I do this and get the radiator pressure tested? It's the strangest thing. The dry weather doesn't seem to be leaking as much, but leaking feck all. But it's damp weather. When I taste a little bit of that, put my finger on a drip and just tip it off my tongue, I can taste the coolant in it. So it's definitely worth getting pressure tested. Just like this, just to be able to slide in and out for them. That's all. Easy enough. Yeah. Of course, these things, once you get them in, the bloody jamming. Just once you could get a measurement off it, it'd be good enough, wouldn't it? Yeah. So we'll just sit that in there for him. He'll be able to do the rest himself. So that's one part, and that is the other part. We'll clean up this bushing as well, because he did ask me for the old bushings. Then I'm going to have to pick up this mat I'm standing on, because I did feel something fall when I was taking off the pints plate. I don't think there should have been anything else. If we at least give him a clean off there, he'll not take too much, because obviously I want him to get a good measurement on it, that it'll he might actually have to put that in the, he'd actually probably laid that shaft and get a better finish on it. But that is what we're talking about now, something like that. That's what I have to send to him. So I'm delighted I'm after getting that much done. We will get it put back together. I have to send that to him as well, don't I? Is that all? Yeah, that's all. Lovely, so we can leave that just sitting there. So that's perfect. One job ready to go. Okay, so we'll leave it there for this evening, because that's all I can do. I don't think I have any more cleaning up to do. We did our bit on that part. All our bits are here. Our threads are good. I probably cleaned them out before anyway. So that's okay. Threads are good, grease them up, and all our springs are good, 1, 2, 3, 4, and all our insulators are there, truss washers are there. Okay, so we'll leave it there for this evening, and we can all go on shin, and we'll come back then hopefully when we have 2 new bushings in that commutator shaft, and we're ready to piece the whole thing back together. I hope the video will be helpful to people. Tasúla go go she love junta dove, because I've definitely never delved this far in. I did on another starter, but this is a lot more going on in this starter here now. So yeah, we'll just have to, a lot of things that need lining up, like, you know, that are just a little bit different, we'll say. So I presume it all goes back something. Okay, I see. Have to get that lad turned then. Oh, Jesus Christ, yeah, we have to have him spint in there. That's why the whole thing bloody was getting a little bit springy, wasn't it? I don't know, was that had to be tensioned in there? Pre-tension for the Bendix, I don't know. Or does that work itself? That's the bit I've got to figure out. Don't remember if that was tensioned. Let's see now. No, maybe not. Thankfully not. Okay, that's good. I'm thinking on the hop here. So that goes down in there. That's fairly self-explanatory. That goes in there. And I presume that just goes in there. Doesn't go affecting any. No, it doesn't seem to. Okay, so we'll say nothing till we hear more. Right. I might give a lad a ring about that and just see. But I don't think that is geared into that. Doesn't pre-tension that. Okay, it just returns. Okay, I think. If anyone knows, fire a comment there to the comment section. For me, this is all just learning and enjoyment. I think, hopefully, what I'm hoping is it's just a matter of pressing that down, putting on the snap ring, and this is all separate. Whatever's going on in there is all separate. Anyway, all will be revealed at some point. Okay. Typical me trying to put the thing back together and it's not even ready to be put back together. Let's put it on a little bit of the way. Yeah, I'm happy enough with that. Okay, we're going to leave it there, and I look forward to putting it back together, and sure, look, we'll keep you in the loop when the parts are arrived or fitted. We'll fire it back together.